Good evening again, everyone. Joe Carullo from Carullo's Corner at it'sallaboutScores.com with episode lucky 13 of the Mike Wilson Show. Mike, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
To our beautiful audience out there. Mike, I'm going to start. I'll give a quote from a famous movie back in the day, Rocky IV. You remember when Drago came to America to fight Apollo Creed? Do you remember what his wife said when first press conference? We did not come here to lose.
Correct, yes.
Anyway, big one on the horizon Friday night. We're going to get to that in a minute. Let's rewind just for a minute. The Paulsboro game, close one. Had me a little nervous there in the fourth quarter, but as usual, you guys came through, providing another great chapter in this entertaining season. Just you want to give us a recap of that real quick?
Yeah, we played very well Friday night. About 8 minutes of the game got a little chaotic.
Yes.
They made a couple plays, made it close, and we took over in the fourth quarter.
Yes, you did. And the way you responded, I was so impressed, watching the film that, okay, again, this happened a couple of times, you guys. You could have packed it in, but you showed your resolve. You guys showed what great coaches you guys are, a great team you have, that it doesn't matter if you're down. You can come back.
Yeah, we have a great senior class. They've been through it before, and there was no panic on anybody.
Yeah, well, what I love is you guys killed that goofy saying, they have momentum. And we teams have had momentum against you guys, and you guys kind of just hit the off button like, okay, you're done.
Yes.
Love it. But, it was a great game. Moving forward, everybody knows what's on the line here. It is the Central Jersey Group 1 championship, I believe.
We're actually South Jersey this year.
Oh, you're South Jersey. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. Like, there's a big difference these days.
Yeah, really, right?
Anyway, I'm going to reverse roles for a minute. You're the Glassboro coach. What do they got to do to stop you guys? Pressure's on them. We went over, before you answer, we've gone over how hard it is to play a team twice, especially if you're the winning team. Pressure's on them. They're the defending champs. They're the favorites in this game. What do they have to do to stop you guys the pressure isn't as much pressure on you guys?
Well, I think they got to come out and play their game. They got playmakers, got to get the ball in the playmakers' hands. They play good defense. If I was Coach Breaker, it's all about stopping momentum.
Right. So what do you guys have to do to stop them? What do you guys?
I think we got to play the long game. We got to play mistake-free football. We got to lengthen the game as much as possible. Shorten the game as much as possible. Get that game in the fourth quarter and see where it goes.
Right. I'm going to get a little detail tonight because, this is a championship. You're on offense. What's your offense have to do to get through their defense? Their offense gets a lot of credit. However, their defense is holding teams to, very little points. I think it was 55-8 over Riverside a week or two ago.
I believe so.
So what do you have to do to get? What's your plan to get through that defense?
Well, I think it's just mistake-free on our stuff. Execute and move the ball, move the chains. It's okay to punt and play defense. But it's just about moving the ball consistently, and when you get an opportunity, seize on it.
Right. Now, how do you stop their big plays? They have they're known for these big plays. Everybody knows that. That's their claim to fame this year.
It sounds a little cliche, kind of Bill Belichick gets New England Patriots, but it's about defensively about just doing your job and not doing somebody else's job. Like, big plays happen because one player tries to fix another player, and then two wrongs just make it even worse than it is. It's just about the players believing in doing their jobs.
So you guys, everybody knows their role.
Yes.
And I think this will be your key to, stopping them. I know you had some special team issues. You have some snapping issues, I'm noticing, on the field goal and a punt a couple times this year.
We've been better. Friday night, our holder, 3-year holder, mind you, dropped the field goal, and that kid's been holding it since his freshman year. So I'll chalk it up to that never happened. One punt snap got away from us, but he's been pretty solid since outside of that.
Right. Because, personally, just from seeing the film and everything, I think it's something like that that's going to make the difference. Because I'm noticing that, it did turn the game around a little bit. And then I noticed in the Woodstown game, we had like a couple of them. And that really, I hate to use the saying, gave them momentum again. It just, I don't even say it gave them momentum. It just changed everything. It just put you guys in the hole. Yeah.
You can't do that. The kids know that. We've talked about it. The kids realize when we play our best football, those things do not happen.
Right.
And like I said, it was just unfortunate. Our holder has been holding since his freshman year. The holder and the kicker has been doing it together for 3 years now, and they're pretty good. And I've never seen it, and he'll probably never do it again.
Wow. But So this is the second time you played them. How do you approach this game differently than game one?
Well, again, you try to look through new lenses. It's last time we played them was about a month ago. We played back in the middle of October. See what they did recently. See what we did. Go back through stuff. Fix our mistakes. Focus on us. And like I said, the kids just got to do their job. Everybody has to do their job that night.
Right. So moving around the rest of South Jersey, we're going to start right at home. Group 1, Central Jersey now. Woodstown against Shore. What's your thoughts on that? Shore, we played them last year. Great program. They got to make that long trip to Salem County again. They had to do that last year with us in the semifinals. So that's not easy. Woodstown's rolling, looking to get their, second sectional title in 2 years. Yeah.
So stuff like that. Rooting for this, the fellow Salem County team. See Woodstown win would be nice.
Right. Realistically, who you picking, if you don't mind me saying?
I have no idea. I have not seen Shore at all this year.
I haven't either.
They got a new guy down there, so I don't know what they're doing. Woodstown's good, so we'll see what happens.
Any thoughts on the Group 2 games coming up? I know there's a lot of Central Jersey flavor in there, minus Camden, of course.
I don't know much, honestly, John. I know Camden's in there, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know, okay, Rumson's a powerhouse, and they got a victory over a big Red Bank Catholic team, so got to take them seriously. Looking ahead, they would play either Camden or Point Borough, and I know they played Woodrow Wilson a few years ago. Again, heavy favorites. Wilson took it to them. The Camden Point Borough game, I know Point Borough is one of the top teams at the Shore. They played a very tough schedule. I think they can give Camden all they can handle. I don't know if they can beat them. I don't know enough about these Central Jersey teams.
The only thing I know about Point Borough, we played them in a consolation game when I was at middle, about 6 years ago. And awesome facility, by the way. The whole setup's really cool up there. They run the triple option. They're running Navy, Army stuff. So if that's rolling and they can move the chains, move the ball, Cannon might not be on the field very much on offense.
Interesting. And so I guess I'm sure that you and I are the only ones that, aren't the only ones that know that. I think Point Borough is going to stick with that. I know that they came within 3 points of beating Toms River North, which I'll get to North in a minute. It should be a good game. I've seen Camden earlier this year. They're as good as advertised.
Yes.
Coach Henson's got them running on all 4 cylinders. They're going to give Point Borough all they can handle. Should be a great game. Wish I can kind of clone myself and beat a couple of these games. Right. Moving up to Group 3, you have Mainland and Seneca. I look for a big Mainland win here.
Just experience alone and stuff like that. I thought something interesting. This is Mainland's first home game for a sectional since 08. I didn't even realize that. 08,
and I think their last one before that was 97.
Yeah. So I never even realized that. But neat little fun fact there. But I'm always going to pull for my guys at Mainland. So
yeah, me too. I know I shouldn't show bias here, but I am. Chuck, I hope you're listening out there. We're both giving you a free pump here.
Yeah, I can. We're good.
All right. I don't get me wrong. Hats off to Seneca. This is the 3rd year in a row they've been to the championship.
Absolutely.
You never know. They could pull the upset. I know Anthony DiOrio personally from his days at Shawnee. If he's as good a coach as he was a player, yeah, they stand a fighting shot.
Absolutely.
So I got to give their programs in the right direction. 3 championships in a row. I just think they're playing a really well-oiled machine in Mainland. Moving to the other side of the bracket, Delsea versus Somerville.
I know a little about Somerville. Delsea, obviously don't count them out.
It's a tough. If I knew more about Somerville, I'd be able to give you a prediction. I heard they're really good. They're ranked, I believe they're in the top 20 now in the state. Doesn't mean anything. Delsea had a bad start. Delsea wasn't Delsea. Now Delsea's Delsea again. This is a game I wish I could see. This is going to be so interesting. Probably the most interesting game of the weekend because it just has that weirdness factor. You have a 4-6 team. Oh, they don't belong there. Oh no, they're Delsea.
Yes.
And they didn't get in by accident. This is not a team that I don't know what this is. I don't know anything about Somerville, but it should be interesting. Moving into Group 4, you have Shawnee at Winslow Saturday. It's going to be a tough one for my Renegades.
Yeah, I think Shawnee's a team you never count out, though. Tradition,
never.
And all that stuff. No.
Tim's a genius. Shawnee's coming to play Saturday.
Oh, 100%.
They're not. To quote La Lumiela Drago again in Rocky IV, they're not coming there to lose.
No.
It's going to be a tough task But and I think the entire Winslow coaching staff knows that this team's coming to play.
100%.
This is not Manalapan. This is not Princeton. It's going to be a fight. Win, lose, or draw.
Agree.
Other side of the bracket, you have Brick Memorial, another unknown but good team against Millville. Team who's scoring 50 points a game, shutting out everybody. Any thoughts on that?
Again, I don't know much about Brick. I mean, Millville's rolling, so I mean, you would think Millville would be the favorite in that game. Again, not really knowing Brick. I'm in the same boat as you. I really can't really give it an opinion.
Yeah, I'd heard going into the season, Brick was going to be really tough. Brick Memorial, that is. They're playing good. Their 2 losses were to Point Borough and Toms River, which we'll get to in a minute. It's a tough call, man. I got to go with Millville, but again, I'm not knowing much about Brick. No, I'm not giving them a fair shot here because it's not that I'm not giving them a fair shot. I don't have the knowledge on them that I need to. They're out of our area. I know they're good. It could be interesting.
Absolutely.
Moving up to Group 5, RV versus Toms River North. North had a scare last week. Second scare of the season. I know Point Borough was in 3 points of them. Kingsway. You think RV could pull the upset?
I mean, look, if anybody's in a sectional final, they're a good football team. So I think anything's possible in any of these games. And I mean, Toms River North, I mean, they're just a powerhouse, but RV's on a roll too. So again, I think at this point in the year, you don't count anybody out.
No, and I've seen Rancocas earlier this year. Good team. They can move the ball. They upset St. Augustine, so they're for real. I think they're 2 losses. They had an early season loss to Camden and Pascack Valley up north. 2 good teams. They've been on a roll since. And yeah, it could happen. Won't be the upset of the century, but I'd say North is the favorite right now. But again, it wouldn't be the upset of the century if RV pulls this out. On the other side, here's where I need your help. Atlantic City of Washington Township. As we know, Atlantic City, the quarterback went out in the second quarter of the game last week, did not return. Do you know anything about his status for this week?
I do not.
I haven't either. I've been prying. I've been prying a little bit. I can't get anything.
Nah, they're going to keep that tight to the vest either way.
Yeah, well, I haven't talked to anybody in Atlantic City. I've talked to, some other people have no idea. I'm going to say Atlantic City would be the favorite with the quarterback in. With the quarterback out, I don't know. I know the second string quarterback came in through a touchdown pass, completed passes last week. He's obviously pretty good.
Yes.
Is it going to be good enough to beat a pretty good Washington Township team? I don't know. I saw Atlantic City opening day against Mainland. They're pretty good. I was impressed with them day one. I said this team will make some noise in Group 5. They've far exceeded expectations. Be their first title win in 25 years. I happened to be there in 99 when they won. It was very exciting. Wish them the best of luck. Wish Township the best of luck. I have not seen Washington Township live this year. Have you?
I have not.
No, and I know they're good. This will be their test. One of these teams, Township, has not won a championship in 29 years.
Wow.
Somebody is breaking the streak this Friday night.
Yeah, they are. That's pretty cool.
Somebody is going to be celebrating on the Black Horse Pike.
Yes.
Friday night. Anyway, just a little thought before we go. What we were saying last week about these consolation games. You have a lot of teams, I know, not playing a game for an entire month. What is your thought on that?
I think we talked about it last week. I mean, I don't know. As a football coach, trying to keep teenage boys occupied and involved over a month without playing a game, that's pretty tough.
And I was going to say, again, I'm not a coach. I'm not the one out there that has to do any of this. So I'm sitting, at a desk in my comfort zone here. I don't see how you have not played since, let's say, October 28th. And now you're going to play not again until November 28th, when your opponent has played 1, 2, at least maybe 3 games between. How do you as a coach let that happen? Again, maybe there's a reason. I don't know. You're a coach. How do you let that happen?
Well, I mean, like we talked about before, the scheduling's a problem. The state's not doing consolation games anymore. So they're just, it might not even be, I don't want to play a game. There just isn't a game to be played.
Well, there's teams out there. I know there's a lot of teams out there. Not a lot. Yeah. There's a good handful. I was looking at it last week. It is possible. Again, there could be more here than I know. Yeah. All of us have limited knowledge as much as we ask around. It's just a thought. I'm trying to put myself in anybody's shoes. How do you come back after a month?
I think if I was in that situation, you have to look at the colleges do during bowl season, because That's the only thing that's close to it. Think about some of these bowl teams. You play last regular season, they don't play a bowl game for a month. I think you got to look at their schedule, what they do, and modify that for your level. Because I think you can't go out there and practice every day for a month straight.
No, you can't.
So you got to go. That's what I would do. I would do some research on colleges, how they handle bowl season, and I would kind of structure it in that manner and build some type of structure that you can at least keep your kids involved and get ready to play a game.
Yeah, because I know. I don't think Vineland has had a game. That's going to be a month. Haddon Township played 2 weeks ago. They're going to go 3 weeks. Clayton, I don't think, has a game. I know Audubon and Pittman are playing tomorrow night. That's good. It's going to help them in 2 weeks because they're going to be.
Yeah, they're both playing. Yeah, again, I think you got to do that. If you can't get a game, I would look to the colleges and go, how do they handle it? Because they do it. Colleges do it all the time. Yeah. So you got to mimic something.
Yeah, but Camden Catholic, they're going to have a good 3 week layoff because they're not playing it. Again, I'm just intrigued because I'm trying to think, what would I do? I have a month. Well, the only thing I can do is play a game.
Yes.
And there are a couple teams out there. There could be injuries. A lot of these are Group 1 teams. They might not. But, everybody's in the same boat. I'm just a little surprised that you have some teams waiting a month. Again, we also talked about moving Thanksgiving games up. But they want to play on Thanksgiving. That's a tradition. It must be one heck of a tradition to be able to wait a month to do.
Each their own in that aspect. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm just thinking about the logistics of trying to keep 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old teenage boys interested for a month.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have that job. My only answer would be we got to be playing football.
Yeah, I agree. If you can, the best case scenario is probably schedule a game. But again, there's a lot of variables in that, Joe.
Of course,
scheduling, referees, do people want to play each other? There's a lot of variables that you can't control even as a head coach.
No, of course. And I think that's why these teams that still want to play on Thanksgiving need to form some sort of alliance, kind of like the, West Jersey coaches group has done, to kind of help with certain things. These teams, if Thanksgiving still means that much, they need to form some kind of alliance and work something out. Because, again, just my opinion, I think it's detrimental. You're not going to be playing for a month. And you have this game, and it's not meaningless. You're obviously waiting a month. It means something to you.
Absolutely. No, you're waiting a month. Is like you said. Before the playoffs, it was a playoff game. So, I don't know. I think we're still finding our way through that, like we talked about last week. I think everybody's trying to figure it out.
And I'm going to continue to do some research. I'm going to talk to a lot of these coaches. I know some of them, and kind of pick their brains, see what's going on, see how come they're not playing, and hopefully between them and the NJSIAA, they can come up with something.
Yeah, you would think so.
That's another story for another time, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, Mike. Well, I will talk. We'll talk to you again next week. But hopefully, will be a celebration show, winning the South Jersey Group 1 title and shot at the state semifinal. I'm going to sign off for tonight. I want to say goodnight to everyone. It's Joe Carollo again at Carollo's Corner at it'sallaboutScores.com. It's episode 13 of the Mike Wilson Show. We will see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Joe. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.